Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ito po si Dr. Tony Liachon. Kamusta ho kayo? Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol po dito sa mga bagay-bagay after nanalo ng mga kandidato. Let's say, itong issue, let's say, sa Senate, kung anong gagawin, mga LGUs natin, no? So pag-usapan muna natin yung hindi na-discuss, no? Kasi burning issue to yung tungkol sa surveys, no? Kung mapansin nyo, meron hong nilabas ang Okta Research Group, si Dr. Guido David, na meron discrepancy yung mga nangunguna sa survey, tapos hindi naman sila nanalo. So parang meron hong sinasabing minus difference. So, ibig sabihin yung mga doon sa survey na lumalabas, maaring, kunyari, hindi lumalabas doon si Senator Bam, Senator Kiko, prominently. Tapos yung nasa taas, let's say si Senator Bong Revilla, si Attorney Abby, and Ben Tulfo, prominently, and then paglabas ng tunay ay hindi ho sila lumabas sa survey. So meaning to say, yung surveys sa tingin ko kailangan natin pag-aralan kasi hindi nagma-mind conditioning yun to create a bandwagon effect. Kaya nga dun ho sa Twitter account ko, sabi nung regional director ng COMELEC, parang mas maganda yung suggestion na let us not focus on the survey but based on the criteria on which we will choose our candidates. Yan ho ang aking unang comment. And based on the book Leadership Challenge in 2023, you have to choose leaders na may honesty, integrity, may vision or platform, inspiring, forward-looking, may governance, excellent track record, and then moral values related to kindness, compassion, and being a blessing to other people. Ano yan research yan Ngayon, napapansin ko din, meron tayong propensity for people, let's say, I have nothing against that. Kaya lang kasi, minsan kinakahon natin, either, kunyari, kakampinks or DDS. So, kung ano na yung personality ng isang tao at nakakampi doon, kahit yung profile wala doon sa criteria, pinipili natin siya. Yun ho yung point na ibig ko sabihin. Perhaps we should do away with the voting for the party, but rather on the individual. Kasi marami ho din, let's say, on the DDS camp, na masasabi natin na magaling bilang senador, talagang service-oriented. Marami din, let's say, dun sa kakamping na iisipin natin magaling, pero hindi rin naman maganda rin ang kanilang serbisyo. So, dapat personality-based tayo rather than the voting. Kasi kung ganun, sarado isip natin. Bigyan ko kayong example. Let's say, si Heidi Mendoza, pero hindi pala siya na-endorse. 'Di ba? Dapat napili natin siya based on that. But ang question natin, should we go towards that or dapat may criteria set forth by the COMELEC in terms of educational campaign? Educational campaign ang kailangan natin going to 2028 kasi pivotal yung 2028 para sa pagpili ng ating Pangulo. So, yung ibig ko sabihin, right now, ang millennials at saka Gen Z ang nag-set ng pace, sila 60% Sila yung mga henerasyon na hindi nababayaran kasi idealistic Tingin ko yun ang nangyari dito. But, if the COMELEC will have an advocacy on educating the public, I think maganda yan Educating us to the criteria ng pipiliin natin or checklist. Let's say, honesty, integrity. So, dapat COMELEC should find out whether this candidate, meron siyang pending case sa Sandigan Bayan, may ombudsman, meron siyang kaso sa NBI. Kasi kung meron, edi dapat disqualify siya kasi gagawin niya yun eh. Meron silang cases eh. So dapat kasama yun sa checklist. Number 2, competence. Dapat siguro irepaso natin na hindi naman ako, ibig sabihin ay sinasabi ko hindi ka nakapag-aral. Marami rin mga magaling. Kaya lang kung at sa Senate level, dapat sana minimum college graduate. Minimum college graduate. Okay naman, let's say barangay captain ka, kung ang sphere of your the sphere of your involvement maliit, pero kung national level ka and you need critical thinking process, you need experience, dapat man naman minimum meron kang sinasabing college degree. Yan yung point. Number 3, dapat may vision or platform. Pagka nag-submit yan sa COMELEC, hihingan mo ng vision or platform para alam naman niya ang gagawin. Number 4, dapat meron man lang experience, no? Track record na maganda at walang corruption. So, red flag yun kung meron. Makakapili tayo ng mga kandidato natin kung educated yung public natin. So, yun ho ang gusto kong unang sabihin eh. Kasi yan ho ang nangyayari. For example, in the alyansa, yung nirecommend ng ating Pangulo, marami doon di nanalo eh. Ang nanalo, wala doon sa survey eh. Yun ho ang point ko doon eh. Number 2, dapat ang focus ho ng atin hong Senate ngayon, paano ho yung PhilHealth mabawi yung 60 billion. At gumawa ng batas na hindi nakukunin yun kasi violation ng sin tax law yun at saka ng Universal Healthcare Law. So dapat unahin muna ho yun yung sa sikmura natin, yung kalusugan, edukasyon, food security, jobs. Ito, babagyo na naman. Sa lower house, nag-announce speaker, gagamitin yung talino ni Congressman-elect Laila De Lima at Chel Jokdo para do sa prosecution ng impeachment. Hindi pa man lang tayo nag-uumpisa in terms of social reforms. Ito na naman. Political na naman ang ating i-discuss. So, mauubos yung 6 months natin after the SONA, doon na naman sa political issues at ang taong bayan na naman ang madadali dito at masasacrifice. Instead na makafocus tayo on health. Dapat mabawi natin yung pera natin eh. Ngayon, wala pang balita ang Supreme Court on the return of the money na kinuha ng government. Pera ho natin yan eh. So, yung zero subsidy ng PhilHealth, sin tax money yan eh. Yan ho for the senior citizens, sa PWD, sa 4Ps, sa mahihirap. Ngayon, kung ang direct contributors ang mag-shoulder ng PhilHealth funds natin, mauubos yung pondo na yan eh. So, dapat yan ang unahin eh. At hindi yung impeachment eh. It's a political issue and that will preoccupy our focus on the things eh, na kailangan natin eh. Yun lang eh. At sana ako personally, do alam ko may galit siyempre si Congressman Laila De Lima, si Chel Jokno, kaya nandyan ka. Yung talino sana nila, i-channel nila on creating laws to protect yung health, education, rather than join the impeachment bandwagon. Okay naman yan. Gawin nyo kung gawin nyo. Pero in the last 3 years natin, wala ho nangyari ho sa buhay natin eh. Nakulimbat yung pera natin because we did not protect it eh. At ang nagpo-protect ay private citizens. Wala akong nakitang lawmaker na ungalma in terms of, except Congressman Ungab, yung sa pagbaboy ng budget ng PhilHealth natin? Wala. Eh ngayon, political na naman ang pag-iisipan natin. Diyos ko naman, no? Ay, nako. Kaya, kinakausap ko kayo taong bayan, no? Perhaps euphoric tayo to a certain degree that some of the candidates na gusto nyo nanalo. But, I think we need to ask them, yung mga nanalo na baguhan, na may katalinuhan, to focus their talents and skills on the ones that will actually benefit most of us, and that is health, education, food security, job generation, climate change. Ito na, pagpasok ng bagyo, iiyak na naman tayo, luhaan na naman tayo, bahan na naman, iyakan na naman tayo. Pero nakafocus na naman tayo dun sa impeachment. Tingnan nyo, lahat ng member ng Quadcom, natalo ho yun eh. Halos lahat natalo, except for Congressman Romeo Acop. So, the Senate selection of candidates is a rejection of the things na ginagawa kasi sa political tool eh. And we're using right now the talents of people on a political issue to demolish their competitors rather than use their talents for health, education, and things that would matter to the Filipino people. Yan ho yung sentimento ko na gusto kong sabihin sa inyo. At dapat hindi sila magpagamit. Hindi sila magpagamit dun sa political tool dahil lang ho sa vendetta. Ako ho, tama na ho eh. The last 3 years, sobra ho ang katoksikan ng ating kultura. Di ho tayo nakafocus on the things that would matter most. And I think it's about time that we ask for accountability, transparency, performance on our elected officials, and focus on the bigger picture na makakatulong sa mga vulnerable, underprivileged, poverty, kung yan ang pinapangako nila. At yan ho ang gusto kong ilahad sa inyo. At hopefully, you can like or share, but as a doctor right now, seeing patients, nakawawa naman at wala talagang pang-hospital, pambili ng gamot. Ang dami natin pwedeng gawing batas sa PhilHealth. For example, after nako-confine kayo, hindi kayo nadadiagnose, may diabetes na pala kayo, tapos dadialysis ka na. How about a PhilHealth HMO card na on a quarterly basis, kayo po ay makakapag-test, di ba? Makakapag-test para malaman nyo kung meron po kayo. Pwede kayong bigyan ng gamot as part of that as well. With MOA to, big pharmacy chain as part of that. Kung sobra-sobra palang pera, di gamitin. Number 2, yung na-admit sa emergency room, hindi naman kailangang admitin. Because your PhilHealth, nagagamit lang yan pag admitted ka. Pero kunyari, vehicular accident, tapos bakli, pwede kang pauwiin. Minsan, ang laki ng bill niyan eh. CT scan, MRI. Na nandyan ka. Minsan, 70,000 yan. Tapos sasagutin mo yan. So, ang PhilHealth should not only cover those confined, but also those na hindi nako-confine. And like, for example, in my case, di naman ako na-admit, ang laki na nahulog ko niyan for almost 35 years eh. Panghuli, ako ay tumatanggap sa SSS na dahil nag-work ako sa private sector. What if, kung senior citizen ka at nakabayad ka for a long time, mabibigyan ka ng, let's say, 10,000 a month, pandagdag dun sa SSS mo kung ikay private employee, GSAS kung government employee ka. Let's say 10,000 yun, plus 10,000 for PhilHealth, may pambili ka ng gamot, may pan-laboratory ka. That's about 20,000 pesos kung dadagdagan mo. And dun sa above 60, this is the time na nagkakasakit ka ng heart attack, cancer, stroke. Ang laking bagay niyan kasi yung retirement benefits mo, mauubos lang ang catastrophic illnesses. These are important measures or law or perhaps mandate that you can ask the senators to focus on. Marami ho tayong pwede magawa kung i-stretch lang natin ang brain natin para sa ating mga kababayan. So, sa lahat na nakikinig ngayon, use the social media right now to ask for our elected officials to work on health. Libre ang health. Dapat. Libre ang education. Dapat. More pension plan for senior citizens, yung vulnerable. Yan ho ang target natin. If our nation, mag-away-away na sila kung anong gusto nila, but do not touch health, do not touch education. Kasi yun ho ang fighting chance sa bawat Pilipino. In other countries, libre yan eh. Sa UK, libre ang health, libre ang education. Iisipin mo na lang yan pagka 18 years old ka. But we have not prioritized health and education. In fact, ninakawan pa natin ho ang kaban ng PhilHealth to the benefit of the legislators na ngayon na nasa sa Korte Suprema. So, I'm not trying to rain the parade, yung parada nga, ibig sabihin ng kasayahan ng pagkapanalo ninyo. But after 1 week of euphoria and celebration, I think the LGUs, the elected officials sa Senate and the lower house, mag-strategic plan, ano ba yung top 3 goals ninyo in the next 3 years that will benefit every Filipino citizen. And I think the COMELEC should be able to come up with an educational campaign on the criteria of the candidates na iboboto natin. Para sa ganon, makaboto tayo ng tamang kandidato for the future generation of Filipinos. So I hope you will like and share. Kung gusto nyo, bigyan nyo ako ng konting stars. But ito lang ho, mako-contribute ko. Being a doctor, thinking about you, thinking about health, thinking about education. I will not be here kung hindi ako malusog. I will not be here as a physician kung hindi ako nakapag-aral. I will not be here kung wala akong job. Napaka-importante niyan. Everybody should focus on the bigger picture. Tama na muna po yung mga negative and toxic culture. I think we need to do something bigger than ourselves. Okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.